Welcome back to The Wrap. Time for the weekly dish with DA. DA, welcome back to the show. How hyped should we get about this Patriots team after what is a pretty big win this afternoon?
Obviously the biggest win of the season, and I think it's going to be a really big win moving forward because the Ravens are going to be in the AFC playoff race throughout. We thought the Ravens coming in were one of the best teams in the conference. I don't think we saw anything to make us believe otherwise, besides maybe the fact that Joe Flacco on that offense really got stagnant toward the end of the game. Certainly into the fourth quarter and overtime. They didn't trust their downfield passing, but credit the Patriots defense for that. We had really crucified the Patriots defense, and rightfully so, because we had not seen a full half or a full game of a secondary and a run defense really coming up big in big spots. Today they did that, and you have to give a ton of credit to what they did to Ray Rice. That was the key to today's game. Ray Rice absolutely killed this Patriots team in the playoff game. And today he had 28 carries for just 88 yards, another couple of catches out of the backfield. But for the most part, he did not get into the end zone and was limited all day long.
That kind of leads me to my next question about the defense. The Miami game, I guess special teams was more of a on the forefront in that game. But now this game, two pretty solid contests by the defense. Who deserves the credit for that? Is Bill Belichick for bringing these young guys up to speed so quickly?
Yeah, I'm sorry. If the Patriots aren't going to name a defensive coordinator, it's impossible to give a defensive coordinator any credit. You know, we have Matt Patricia and Pepper Johnson assuming the role of defensive coordinator, quote unquote, but they don't have that on their business card. It's not listed on the website. That's not how the team is titling them. So you have to give it to Belichick. Reportedly, Belichick is also leading the defensive meetings. So, yeah, you got to give it to BB. They did an outstanding job today. You know, Kyle Arrington was picked on a little bit, especially in the Anquan Boldin touchdown. But the fact is, they were able to squeeze the lanes of Ray Rice so much, and that is the bread and butter of that Ravens offense, that today's Patriots defensive effort was supreme. I mean, maybe it's not the 85 Bears, but it's about as good as we would have expected going into this week's game.
On the other side, on the offense, Deion Branch isn't Randy Moss. Tom Brady spent a lot of time standing up for Randy, but this kind of is like the incredible journey almost where Deion Branch finds his way home, and Tom is almost emotional when talking about him. You could really see that he threw to him, and he likes throwing to him, and he really likes Deion. Was it a good move then? I mean, obviously, it looks like it was a good move, but going forward, does it look like a deft trade to get him for a fourth-round pick and get a security blanket for Tom?
It's a good move on a couple of fronts. Number one, let's just look at this symbolically. This was a Patriots franchise that had gotten away from their roots. They had gotten away from the offense that helped them win those 3 championships, which was very balanced. Able to run the football, but also able to throw. But it wasn't dependent on one guy down the field and airing it out continuously. That's what ended up happening with the Randy Moss offense. So you get away from that symbolically with Moss also wanting to be somewhere else and bringing in a guy like Deion that wants to be here, wants to be back part of the Patriots way. So it's good from that standpoint. That helps that locker room that was, kind of in flux last year chemistry-wise. Football-wise, it also makes sense because you saw how much trust Brady has in Deion Branch today. Deion had a bunch of third down catches to move the sticks, and I think we have to start calling him first down Deion, because while Randy Moss was the deep threat and he could stretch the defense and safeties had to roll over with him, on 3rd and 6, was he going to get you 7 yards? On 3rd and 4, was Randy Moss going to run a pattern over the middle to get you 7 yards? Not really. That wasn't what Moss did well. So Branch and the trust that Brady has in him, but also Branch's underneath ability to move the sticks, is really well suited for what the offense wants to do right now.
Today was kind of the end of a 2-week circus, 2 weeks of pure craziness, but they also beat 2 pretty good teams in 2 really tough games. Is this something, is Bill Belichick, does he strive off this kind of stuff like we talked about, the underdog role? Does he strive off of his team going through struggles like this?
I certainly think he plays it up. I absolutely think he played it up in Miami. I know that they use the Patriots Pro Football Weekly experts that all picked against him as motivation. I think instead of using the Randy Moss thing as motivation this week, he just thrives in consolidating all of the guys' focus and blocking out extraneous distractions and making them just kind of follow this one train of thought. So I don't know if they were actually better because of the Randy Moss situation that was swirling about, but he's just really good at getting everybody on point and everybody onto the football perspective, and it showed today. I mean, again, That's a really good Ravens team. It wasn't a perfect effort, but it's a really good Ravens team, and that's a good home win. And let's face it, you had to keep up with the Joneses as the Jets win on the road and the Dolphins win on the road as well in this division today.
And they're closing out the month with two games on paper. Look pretty tough, but two teams with losing records, including the Chargers next week. Is this an easy game now as they go west?
I don't know how you can take the Chargers seriously. I really don't. You know, Wade Phillips might be one of the worst coaches in the league and has the most talent, but Norv Turner's a close second. You know, there's nobody in the AFC West that has the talent the Chargers do, even without Vincent Jackson, even after trading Antonio Cromartie. And for the Chargers to this point to have lost this many games, for the Chargers to have lost in Arrowhead in Week 1, for the Chargers to have lost today to the Rams, which is just an absolute disaster, says something about where that team is mentally. And I know they have a lot of slow starts, and they usually finish strong, but that's embarrassing. You know, for an embattled team, there's no way they should lose today's game. So I don't think you can really fear going to San Diego. There's a time zone change. It's tough for East Coast team to play on the West Coast. But in terms of a Chargers team that is mentally ready on Sundays, this edition is not.
Before you go, you and I are both hip-hop rap fans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did you catch the Justin Bieber rap? And why does everybody want to pile on Tom Brady's hair all of a sudden?
Well, because it's awful. And it needs to be cut. And, you know, this is just the next chapter in a great rap war. You know, you had Tupac versus Biggie. You had LL Cool J versus Cool Mo D back in the day. And now you have, pretty obviously, Biebs versus Brady. I think the issue here is that watch for Brady to drop his own retaliation track, maybe the Source Awards, maybe the BET Hip Hop Awards. It's going to happen. He's got to save some street cred. But you know it's bad when a 16-year-old Canadian boy, Disney star turned hip hop guy, is making fun of your hair. Brady's in a no-win situation. It's a great chess move by Bieber because if Brady cuts his hair, he's responding to Bieber. If he doesn't, he continually looks like an idiot.
And I think a Tom Brady rap would actually hit the shelves and probably sell about 160 mil right off the bat.
I know you could sell 65,000 in Foxborough every Sunday.
Yeah, that's true. All right, thanks a lot, DA. You can catch him, DA Show 98.5, the Sports Hub, 6 to 11, Monday through Friday. We'll see you next week, DA.
You got it.
More rap coming up after this.